So fair warning, this video is getting flagged by YouTube. It's been a bit more mature than usual because I clicked on it. It said, "Do you wish to proceed? This video might be pretty violent for people your age." I said, "You know what? Sure." So I think this is what they were talking about in the when I did a couple of months ago about it being like rated as mature or stuff like that. So I mean, I could see it being like that since it is like pretty gory. So yeah. So sorry for no uploadings. If you guys did see the stream that did it, maybe like yesterday for me, 2 days for y'all. Yeah, yeah. If you guys did see that stream that I did, then I did say there's a lot of things that a lot of things have happened for the past 5 days, 7 days. I can't remember. For the past couple of weeks, let me tell you what happened. So we did a very deep thorough clean of the entire house. Very deep clean of the house. Mow the yard. Clean the entire house. Took 2 days to do this entire thing. And the house is a lot more cleaner than that. It's a lot more cleaner than it usually is. Apparently now my mom is pregnant. So that's interesting. So yeah. That's kind of like the big news that's happening. They went to go get the ultrasound a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, she's pregnant. So we're gonna have a couple of months. We're gonna have a baby running around our house now. So that's gonna be pretty interesting. We don't know if it's gonna be a boy or a girl yet. Maybe a couple of months we might see that. So I'll tell you guys when that happens. But that's sort of like the main reason as to why I haven't really done any videos lately. The second main reason is sort of like, I really don't know. I just haven't found enough time to just sit down and make a video because schoolwork is doing its own thing. I try to get enough work done at school, but homework just finds its way to creep its way in. And yeah, this is the only beginning of the year too. Like, waiting till we have like more group projects and like that. So I don't have a set schedule. I probably never have a set schedule, but I plan on trying to upload at least once per week, maybe, if not maybe twice per week. So next video maybe make sometime Wednesday through Friday-ish, that angle time period. Yeah, sometime on the weekend. Probably will stream more on the Minecraft thing in that weekend though, so yeah. Sorry for the noise in that background. My stepbrother was in the background streaming his friends. So, yeah, sorry about that. So yeah. Alright, so no further ado, let's go and get into this reaction. Sorry, in 3, 2, 1, play.
Just Monica. 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 So last time we began covering the creepy hidden mystery of
I wonder who does her voice though. I'll have to look into that. That voice is really good though, I'll say that.
Hello Internet! Welcome
Why
to
the fuck my laptop's gonna get a virus after I watch this video?
Game Theory, and my apologies for any technical difficulties we may be having during this series.
Yeah.
So in this theory, we started to unearth a horror game hidden
Please don't destroy my laptop.
It's
the only ones that I have.
Literature Club. We found a letter hidden in plain sight alluding to human experiments and cults, all topics that appear in Yuri's book, The Portrait of Markov, a book that
We're doing more about Yuri? Dodki decode. Okay, so we're not doing Yuri yet. We're doing
this all led
more
me
of
to
the extra
concoct
stuff.
a theory that
Okay.
the 4 girls from the club are actually characters from another game. A horror game, in fact, being produced by Team Salvato. And that this is the reason that Monica turned sentient in Doki Doki. Her AI isn't meant to be contained in a mere visual novel game. But today is where things really start to go off the rails as we dive deeper into the Portrait of Markov mystery and cover the game within this game that's itself hiding a third game. Oh yeah!
What? A game that's hiding a game that's hiding a game. It's like, It's like Minecraft hiding Pokemon, hiding Star Wars. What? Okay, Mad Pat.
And
Tell
by
me
the
how this
way,
works.
if you thought Monica was bad, well then, you should start getting really scared of Yuri. As you'll know if you finish the game, the character files in the
What's
game's
wrong with
directory
Yuri?
play a huge role in the plot. Monica manipulates and deletes them one by one in her quest to make you love her, and ultimately you have to delete Monica's file in order to reach the game's true ending. But there's more in these files than just character information. Each of them is a puzzle in and of themselves, left in the game to be solved by the fans. And two fans of DDLC in particular stepped up to the challenge. Reddit users MitHost and WarChamp7 dug deep into these files and uncovered their secrets, posting their findings to the R Visual Novels subreddit, and the lore bits they uncovered broke the Portrait of Markov mystery wide open. So the character files on your computer start as .chr files, which isn't a real file format that programs can recognize.
Really?
That doesn't mean you can't open them. If you use a text editor like Notepad, you can absolutely see what's inside, and that's exactly what they did, with the text inside each file giving them clues as to what they should be doing
What is that?
next. Something about this visual novel makes me go through puberty. Yuri's file.
you heard that right there. Yeah, I know that feels, Mad Pat. I know that feels.
Was the easiest to crack. It started as a bunch of random letters and numbers, but that pile of letter vomit was actually text encoded in base 64. It's an encoding technique that converts binary data into text, specifically ASCII text, the same stuff that Bob built his army using a few years ago on YouTube. That may sound like it's really hard to decode, but all you have to do is copy it and paste it into a base 64 decoder, like this one right here. When you decrypt Yuri's file, you'll see that it's actually a short story, a creepypasta which the game's director Dan Salvato confirmed that he wrote over 2 years ago and just stuck in the game as an Easter egg. It's a spooky story to be sure, but it seems to be just that, an Easter egg. A red herring. It is nothing compared to...
It's never an Easter egg. It's never just that. It never is. There's always something that's behind it. There's always something that's behind it.
Everything else hidden in these other character files. Natsuki's file came next, which, when opened in a text editor,
Really?
gave the
It's
clue
just that?
it
Really?
should be
Wow.
opened as a PNG file. Changing the extension resulted in this odd discolored image. But for anyone who's had some experience playing around with Photoshop, this color scheme may remind you of what happens when you invert the colors on a picture. It produces those signature blues and grays. So reversing that inversion, the picture suddenly starts to look like a real picture. And not just any sort of picture, a face. Rotate the image and wrap that texture around a 3D cone, then look at the cone from above, and it turns into an image of a mysterious blonde woman with whited out eyes. This woman doesn't resemble any of the other characters in the game, or anyone talked about by it.
How did
So
they figure
perhaps
that
then she's a
flipping out?
character
That
from
is...
the other game being developed by Team Salvato. Maybe it's Alyssa, the girl suffering the strange illness that we heard mentioned in the letter found in the last
That would make
episode.
sense.
Monica's character file, when converted
Depending
into a
on her
PNG,
age, though. Do
turns
we
out
have
to
any
be
clue
an
what her
image of
age
a
could
ring
be?
with a square of black and white static in the middle. But that's not just any static, it's a QR code, was what I initially thought, but no, it's actually way more complicated than that. And huge
You have $10,000 in free coupons for Kroger.
compliments to the guys on Reddit for solving this one. It's actually binary computer language. It's a bunch of ones and zeros, where one number is represented by the color black and the other number is represented by the color white. So what MidHost did was to take those black and white pixels and convert them line by line into strings of binary. Then convert that binary
I could never do this. Never do that.
sequence into alphanumeric text using an online converter, which resulted in yet another pile of letters and numbers. But these should be starting to look a bit more familiar, right? It's more base 64 code, which, when converted, reveals a note that really starts to bring all this together.
Can you hear me? Who are you? I can't see you, but I know you're there. Yeah, you can definitely hear me. You've been watching for a while now, right? I guess I should introduce myself or something. My name is... Actually, that's stupid. You obviously already know my name. Sorry. Anyway, I'm guessing if you were able to put a stop to this, you would have done it by now. I mean, I know you're not, like, evil or anything, because you've already helped me so much. I really should thank you for that. For everything you've done. You're really like a friend to me. So, thank you. So much. I think more than anything else, I really don't want it all to be for nothing. Everyone else is dead. Maybe you already know that. I'm sure you do, actually. But it doesn't have to be that way, right? Well, there's a lot of stuff I don't understand. I don't even know if it's possible for me to understand it, but I know that this isn't my only story. I can see that now, really clearly, and I think everyone else has had that same kind of experience. Some kind of deja vu. It's the third eye, right? Anyway, I could be totally wrong about this, but I really think you might be able to do something. I think you might be able to go back, or however you want to put it, to go back and tell them what's going to happen. If they know ahead of time, then they should be able to avoid it. They should. If they remember their time with me in the other worlds, they should remember what I tell them. Yeah, I really think this might be possible, but it's up to you. I'm sorry for always being so, never mind. I know that's wrong. This is my story. It's time to be an epic hero. Both of us. 2018!
Wow, that is a lot to unpack, so let's get to it. First, it seems pretty clear that this was written by Monica, as evidenced by the "you've been watching me for a while now, and you already know my name" lines. It also seems to be written after Doki Doki's true ending, where she destroys the game. Notice how she comments that there's something you as a player can't stop, something that's killed everyone else, which is why she destroyed the game in the first place. But now come the bizarre parts. She says that she's experienced some sort of deja vu and that this isn't her only story, supporting the idea that she's coming from somewhere else, perhaps, once again, a different game. And it's not just her either, it's all four of them.
I see where you're coming from this, Matt Pat.
The same kind of experience. What's most exciting, though, is her suggesting that perhaps we as the player can, quote, go back and tell them what's going to happen. If they know ahead of time, they should be able to avoid it. Meaning that we're going to be tasked with trying to jog their memories, or that in this new game there'll be some sort of Easter egg calling back to the events of Doki Doki. Quote, if they remember their time with me in other worlds. Other worlds, like other games that these characters have been used in. That maybe we can do something in these other games to warn the girls and prevent Doki Doki from ever happening in the first.
Oh, okay. I can see why it sort of is rated mature now. Okay.
And the conclusion is pretty much
okay.
Team Salvato has another game coming in 2018, and in this game, Monica isn't the villain. She's the hero. Of everything in Monica's letter, though, one reference in particular really stands out, blaming this deja vu on what she calls the third eye. And it's not just Monica either. This third eye is hidden throughout your time with the literature club. During Act 2, you're always given 2 regular poems. Once the game starts to break, the first poem that Natsuki gives you is a string of random letters and numbers, which at this point we're old pros at decoding. Using base 64, the text reveals a creepy hidden poem titled Open Your Third Eye, which describes the narrator taking pleasure in stabbing someone to death. The second poem that Yuri gives you seems, at first glance, to be a huge...
I don't know if I should read this. I don't think I can physically can.
Stabbing someone to death.
I can't even read it. Even if I wanted to.
Be a huge block of random words, but hidden...
What? It just froze.
The second poem that Yuri gives you
there we
at first
go.
glance to be a huge block of random words.
Yeah.
But hidden in plain sight at the end of it is another ominous passage that describes a compulsive stabbing and concludes with the line, quote, the lust continues to linger through my veins. An ache in my muscles stems from the unreleased tension experienced by my entire body. Her third eye is drawing me closer. That's 3 characters now who've brought up this third eye. The same eye that happens to be described on the cover of the portrait of Markov. And remember what Yuri said about the plot of the book last episode. All the people trapped in the human experiments at the religious camp have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. That trait is undeniably the third eye. All of this points to Team Salvato's new game being about human experimentation, researching a psychic phenomenon that invokes uncontrollable bloodlust in the people exposed to it. Which brings us to the last piece of the puzzle, Sayori's character file, which is by far the trickiest to decipher. In order to unlock its secrets, you need to convert it into an OGG audio file, which sounds like a lot of random noise at first. But when you open that audio in a visualizer program and then apply a spectrograph to that visualization, you reveal a QR code that, when scanned, takes you to the website projectlibitina.com. Whew, that is a ton of work just to reach a page of plain text.
Yeah.
And the information contained within that text is eye-opening. third eye opening, that is. The page is an
Really?
examination report
Really?
dated January 5th, 2004, which describes horrifying experiments being performed on a 3-year-old psychic girl with the first name Libitina. Her last
Oh my,
name is
oh, that's
blank.
so,
Another blank
that's
name
so
appears at the
messed
bottom of the
up.
page. Another subject who was terminated earlier. Based on the context of the redacted poem we
Wow.
covered last episode, it's my guess that this girl is Alyssa. Even the number of letters in Alyssa match the number of redacted letters in the name. That's far from the only parallel to the portrait of Markov that we see here, though. A note to the head doctor at the bottom of the page reads, quote, "You are choosing to avoid the measures necessary to prevent a repeat scenario, Doctor. Will you not have as much faith in your personnel as you do in your God?" End quote. Yuri says that the book is set in a religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison, which lines up pretty well with this mysterious doctor's reported devotion to a god of some kind.
True.
And the redacted poem's allusion to joining this mysterious family. Judging from the various notes on this webpage, the tests performed on the 3-year-old were all about activating Libitina's third eye, that lust for blood, which proved successful, but then, based on the failed test results, Libitina is then unable to suppress. But not only are we getting more and more clues as to the next game Team Salvato is working on, we're actually seeing exactly how our favorite clubmates are going to fit into the story, because I am confident 3-year-old Libitina grows up to be one of the 4 girls we see in Doki Doki Literature Club. And what's more,
Which
I can
one,
prove
though?
exactly which one it is. Libitina is a 3-year-old, and her height and weight
Yeah.
are both average for her age, so there's not much to go on there. But if we look a bit further down the page, we see a list of noted behaviors that the researchers say should be ignored in future examinations. Twitching, vocal tics, biting, epiphoria, vomiting, screaming, harm to examiner, harm to self, misplaced laughter. There's one character who we see display almost all of these traits during Doki
Yuri.
Doki Literature Club, particularly in that second act. Yuri. Once the game bugs out, Yuri's dialogue becomes the most erratic. We repeatedly see her eyes twitching when she talks to us, she screams a fair bit, laughs erratically at a few points, and that bit about self-harm? Hell, I don't think I need to explain that one. But these aren't the only clues that we have to
Holy
go on. There
crap.
are 2 more things that
Okay.
absolutely confirm that Yuri is Libitina. The first is her age. Libitina was born January 5th, 2001, which would make her 17 years old in 2018, the year that Project Libitina is set to release. As the only member of the Literature Club in senior year, Yuri is the only one of the girls in the right age range to be Libitina. But there's also one more piece of crucial evidence that absolutely clinches this theory, and the evidence isn't found in the game itself, or even in its data, or a random hidden webpage, but rather in the Doki Doki Literature Club merchandise store. Yeah! This guy is
What?
hiding clues in more places than Scott Cawthon. Team Salvato might not be offering
That's funny right there. That's really funny.
much in terms
It's
of
true, but it's
items,
funny.
but the few items that are present reveal some very interesting details. So let's look at the posters. 4 of them are simply CG of each girl taken straight from the game. Nothing too exciting there.
Yeah.
Another 4 are creepy original artwork featuring iconic quotes from the characters. Between all of these, there's this running motif of the girls being tied up in a red string. Even Monica has a bow wrapped around her, but Yuri doesn't seem to possess these strings. In fact, all of the red strings seem to be emerging from her heart, from this flower, whatever this is, ensnaring all the other girls. An allusion to Libitina's psychic influence over everyone else. But if that doesn't convince you, there are 2 more posters for sale.
But isn't Monica like the most sentient of them all? So, if it were to come down to that, wouldn't Monica have more power over the others than Yuri has?
Original artwork. One of these is a surprisingly cute picture of Monica handing you the song she sings you at the end of the game. It's cute. It's very cute. The last poster, called Yuri Unhinged,
Until you
is
realize she's a murderous psychopath that pretty much murdered all of her friends, and theoretically trying to take over the entire world, yada yada yada, yeah.
And when I say a bit different, I mean completely different from anything else in the game or on the site. It shows the quiet bookworm Yuri sitting in the classroom at sunset, toying with a knife. For someone unhinged, her posture seems oddly relaxed, even confident. In fact, it's the most confident we've ever seen her. Like she's in full control of the situation. And behind her, we see all sorts of ominous text scrawled on the blackboard. To her right, we see a poster. A poster with a big ol' Illuminati confirmed eye in the middle and the words "Help Me" scribbled along the top. This is the third eye, Yuri's third eye, and this is the only artwork where we see it depicted. Illuminati confirmed, Yuri as Libitina confirmed. Doki Doki Literature Club isn't just a free game made to promote Team Salvato's upcoming horror title, it's a part of Project Libitina. Monica is the upcoming game's protagonist, while Yuri is the monster at the center of the story, Libitina herself.
Oh,
this is why Yuri was so attached to the Portrait of Markov story. It is her story, and the disconnect from being put in the wrong game is the reason that Monica becomes self-aware. But hey, that's
just that.
Game theory.
My Pat? You good? Is he okay? I don't know if he's... No, well... I guess we'll figure that one out in the next video, so... Hopefully he's fine. If not, then... Don't know. Well, I'll see you guys next video. Depending on when that's gonna be. Maybe sometime next Thursday, Wednesday, or this Thursday, Wednesday, or Friday. Or some of the weekend. Don't really know, depending on how much schoolwork I have, yada yada. Alright, I'll see you guys then. Well, see you guys then. Bye.